gentle listener, and welcome to Nocturnal Transmissions, the fortnightly podcast that brings you dark tales, both old and new, performed by voice artist Kristin Holland. Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there. There goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame he ignores. Action is his reward. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man. You know, there are 40,000 species of spider that inhabit this little blue world of ours, as opposed to how many species of you, gentle listener? Why, one, of course. Just the one. Perhaps we should show them a little respect. I mean, after all, what is the alternative? I believe that Alice Cooper can best answer that very nearly rhetorical question. These words he speaks are true. We're all humanary stew, if we don't pledge allegiance to the Black Widow. You know what, though, listeners? The widespread belief that our arachnid fellow travelers mean us harm is surely a misconception. Was it not the Hopi Native Americans who told us of Spider Grandmother, whose quietly whispered words of guidance and wisdom helped many a hero of myth emerge victorious from perilous adventure? She, the intermediary between us poor lumps of clay and the divine. What would we do without her? And tell me, gentle listener, who is the best superhero of them all, Is it Superman? Yawn. Is it Batman? Really, who would want to be him? I think we all know who the best superhero is, who our younger comic book reading selves loved most of all. I'm sorry, am I rambling? Or am I just padding? To increase the length of this otherwise very short episode. I wonder. Nocturnal Transmissions is proud to present Jak Afon Rhys's My neighbor's just a giant spider in a trench coat. My neighbor's just a giant spider in a trench coat. Not giant like those foot-long ones in South America. I mean he's 6 foot tall, standing on his hind legs. I think he thinks he's getting away with the ruse, too. But he's so bad at it. It'd be one thing if he wore a mask of human skin or something, or even more clothes under the trench coat. To be fair, sometimes he wears a hat, too, but he's not putting anywhere near enough effort into his disguise to warrant the level of confidence he possesses. And he forgets the basics. Like the other day, I passed him in the hall and we waved at each other. He waved at me with 3 of his legs. We both stopped when it happened. We turned around and looked into each other's eyes for a moment. I stared into those 8 eyes, wondering if I should finally say something. He waved at me again, this time with 1 leg. I nodded and moved on. I looked back at him, though, and he used one of his legs to wipe his forehead, like in mock relief that he didn't get caught. Everyone's way too nice to him. Not only in person, that I get, because you're terrified he'll wrap you in webbing and slowly devour you. But we're friends on Facebook, and everyone is always so effing nice to the guy. He posts the most basic shit you've ever seen, like a picture of several of his legs stretched out on a beach chair holding a beer, and it'll say, #blessed. And people comment, "Wish I was there," or "Save one for me." I came so close to writing, "You're a giant spider. Can your body even process alcohol? Spiders don't have livers." But I stopped myself. We have a few mutual friends in the building, and I didn't want to be that guy who's always causing drama. I'm getting all worked up writing about it, though. I'm going to talk to him about it. Not be a dick. Be like, "Hey, I know you're a giant spider. Stop pretending you're not." I'm doing it now. So I knocked on his door, and he answered wearing a bathrobe, which is, I guess, what he wears when he's home. I asked if we could talk in private, indicating I wanted to come in, but he shooed me back, not wanting me to come inside. The door was only open a crack. "You're a giant spider," I whispered. "It's like really obvious, too." He stared at me for a moment, then invited me into his place. I wish I hadn't gone in. I wish I'd kept my stupid mouth shut. His apartment was covered in web. It stretched everywhere, in all directions, but that's not all that was there. Taking up the bulk of the space was a gargantuan spider. She had to be over 20 feet wide, and she made no pretense at being human. She gazed at me as I entered their apartment. Substance stripped from her fangs as my steps caused web to vibrate throughout the space. My eyes searched around, not wanting to look at her. wedding picture of the two of them hung on one of the walls. I looked back to the spider in the bathrobe. "Oh, this must be your lovely wife you're always talking about," I said. "It's so nice to finally meet you." I walked back towards the door. "You know, it's getting late. I'm not sure if I do have time for a beer after all. Maybe some other time." The spider in the bathrobe led me by him. Let me go back out the door. Before he closed it, he waved goodbye to me. With 3 legs. My Neighbor's Just a Giant Spider in a Trench Coat by Jak Afon Rhys. You can find out more about Mr. Rhys in the featured authors section of our website, nocturnaltransmissions.com.au. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a brief announcement. Just Entertainment presents a story of desperation and suspense, an auditory thrill ride of intrigue and mystery that unravels fact from fiction in the exploration of truth amid a world of monsters and men. The Yowie Podcast, an audio suspense thriller in 5 parts, is now available, featuring our humble narrator, Kristin Holland, as series announcer. Find it wherever you find good serialized podcasts, or visit yowiepodcast.com. Well, that ends this fortnight's frivolity. All voices and production are concocted by Kristin Holland. All non-public domain stories are featured with the permission of the authors. Until next time, as always, watch the skies, fear the dark, and don't trust anyone, especially yourself. Good night, gentle listener.